Hello and welcome to this podcast being recorded in Turku, Finland. My name is Thomas Björn and I am working on behalf of the Swedish Golf Federation and STURF, the joint research foundation of the Nordic Golf Federations. The project Golf Course as an outdoor classroom receives funding from Svenskt Friluftsliv. We have traveled to Åbo on a study trip, a small but excellent group, to learn more about outdoor education. Enjoy listening.
Carola Sojanen from the Swedish Golf Federation Finance Department.
Jocke Svensson, Child and Youth Coordinator at Folkhälsan in Åland.
And my name is Patrick Bergella and I work here in Åbo as an outdoor educator and also work at the Folkhälsan Association like Jocke.
Karin Säf Göransson from Björkhagens Golf Club in Stockholm.
Kristina Enarsson, teacher at Noblaskolan in Täby.
Patrick and Jocke, what is Folkhälsan?
Folkhälsan is also a large third sector organization in Swedish-speaking Finland that works with the Swedish-speaking population. We promote the health of the population, improve it. That is our goal and purpose.
We have approximately 1,100 employees at Folkhälsan now, permanent employees, and then we have many hourly employees.
Then we also have an association here as well.
Associations, local associations, 98 local associations.
And who funds all this?
Folkhälsan was founded in the early 1900s and it was primarily research in health. That was the first thing they started with at Folkhälsan. And quite a few Finland Swedish people donated money to Folkhälsan even back then. And from this money a whole fortune has grown. We won't say how big the fortune is here now, but we're talking about lots of money. And the operations are now largely funded by the returns from this money every year. Plus, we also receive money from the start and we are involved in various projects and such, but we do have quite good self-financing.
That is indeed where the money comes from.
Karin, what is your main impression today? What do you take with you?
To take with me that it doesn't have to be so complicated. I think I was very inspired to try to get the schools that are close to our golf club to come down and maybe work like you do with a class. It doesn't have to be like all fifth graders. So, and then also this that I talk a lot about, that you start at an early age, that we might try to get cooperation with those in first grade or elementary school.
It might not suit them directly to be on the range, but still to be down on the golf course and so on. So I think that it...
Tina?
I also think it's very exciting to continue with outdoor education, which I know we have at our school from the age of 6. To continue with the first graders and lower grades instead of waiting until 5th grade, to go out with outdoor education. When they are used to it from preschool, it's just as well to continue. And now we have seen today that it's quite easy to do it, but we need more people and we need it to be supported by the management.
Carola, what are you taking away from today?
I thought the same thing about how there is a lot of outdoor education in preschool. But then there's this gap and it's not picked up again until 4th or 5th grade. It really should continue all the way from first grade or preschool class.
Patrick, what does outdoor education have to do with public health?
We have Folkhälsan, so we promote health. For example, I work with children and youth and I get a large part of my funding from 2 funds in Turku, which are designated for me to work with children in Turku, Åboland. And so it's movements that are the main thing that I should work with. But then we realized in 2007 when we went to Sweden and to Jutenine and met Anders Szczepanski that outdoor education is a great thing to connect with the school, because then the school also benefits from it. They get this outdoor teaching from us. We can take the class out and they move around while they learn. So it's a win-win solution for both.
Joki, how does it differ in Åbo and Åland?
We have good cooperation, but in Åland we focus a lot on after-school activities. It's basically the same setup with adventure pedagogy outdoors. And then we have many summer camps, summer clubs for children 7 to 10 years old. We also have for middle school youth, which we call summer hangouts. And we have sailing camps. And there much is based around the marine environment. That we should make the best use of the Baltic Sea, and so it is with nature as a source of strength that permeates our activities.
Karin, we were at a golf club today as well. Did you recognize anything, or did we bounce ideas around?
I recognize, because they do not have had so many students there. It was like there was a bit of resistance, like, well, how will it go? So what if they run out onto the course? And a bit like that. That's the concerns we might have had in the beginning too. I mean, they had a fantastic environment around them. They could do amazing things.
Tina, the first time you participated here during the fall from Åbolaskulan, was it obvious?
Do you mean if it was obvious that we would participate?
Yes, or?
Yes, it was, absolutely.
Since I read the article in the newspaper at the beginning of May until we went out on the 24th of September, there hasn't been any doubt at all. This is something I believe many children need, because they spend a lot of time indoors at school and in the afternoons gaming and playing much, much more today than 10 years ago. So that children need to be outside to be able to learn better, and there is research showing that they do. So there is no doubt that we need to work on this much, much more in Swedish schools.
Carolina, it was your first time participating. You managed the finances in the project to make it work. What impressed you the most then?
I think that young people need to get out more today. As Tina also said, they spend so much time indoors after school as well. And in school, they sit in classrooms day in and day out. So it becomes, they really need this. Just movement and air, I think it's good for learning in general.
Kirjala School, which we visited this morning. Patrick, you've worked with that school for quite a while. Tell us.
Yes, we have had a collaboration. I think it has been nearly 15 years that we have collaborated. And in the beginning, I showed a lot of models to the educators on how to use outdoor education. I was the one managing the programs with the class. But then after about, I think it was the third year, I started involving the educators as well, that they would come with a program segment each time. And it was there that it started to grow, and they then started, they learned this method of how to plan teaching indoors. How can you plan the same teaching outdoors? And then it has now come to the point where it is the educator who plans the entire outdoor session and helps out there, makes a fire, and then supports the teaching. So it has come quite far in that regard.
Does it need to take 15 years to get to where you are today, do you think?
This is what we have discussed a lot, like how do we get outdoor education going among educators and what is the best model. And we have together with both whom you met today, sat many times and thought about it, and we have not yet come to any solution. And we can conclude that there are different models. For example, you have the model where you train the educators and run stations and teaching. And that is also a good model because it forces the educators quite quickly, come on, now you also have to do something, and throws the ball to them. While there are educators who do not want to engage in outdoor education for some reason, that they think teaching should happen indoors, or they are uncomfortable going outside themselves. That there kind of are there may be different perspectives on this, and one must surely be open to different solutions as well to this. One calls it a problem or a challenge.
Joki, back to Åland. What are you taking home with you? What will you do differently when you get home to Åland?
A lot of cooperation across between different associations and simply helping each other, and then we know that this is a working concept because we have been working with adventure pedagogy for many years. And that's why we continue, because we see that everyone is happy and satisfied when they are out in nature.
What is adventure pedagogy, if you can define it?
It is about moving, for example, if we talk about the school environment, moving the school environment into nature.
It doesn't have to be a golf course. Sanina Kirjala school was very close to nature.
The difference between outdoor and adventure education is that adventure education strengthens the individual's social abilities. That is the focus in adventure education. And then adventures are used as a method, adventure and outdoor life. While in outdoor education, teaching is the focus. You go out and teach the students. They should learn something outside as well as they do inside. In some cases, like at Kirjala school, there hasn't been time, If we're going to learn something in geography and we do it outside, then you should learn it outside too, so that you can continue with it indoors. There has to be this educational connection in it all.
Interaction,
and it has adventure pedagogy doesn't really have this. It doesn't have the same objectives as outdoor pedagogy, and there it's more about reflection and experiences, and but you also analyze the experiences. They do overlap a bit, of course, but there are different goals with these different pedagogies.
Karen, we started the day at Kirjala school, where we were in a kota, a fairly newly built kota, with a lovely crackling fire. What did you think when you sat there around the fire with the students?
I was very fascinated by how quiet and calm they were. I think if they had been Swedish children of that age, some of them would have been jumping up and down and chattering quite a lot. It would have been harder to get them calm and quiet. I found that so fascinating, because that's something we find a bit difficult, I say.
Now Tina is sitting and raising her hand here. She thinks you are still in school, but
then I must say this, that all those students have been working with outdoor education with their teacher for a long, long time and know how to behave and what to do. They have become accustomed to the situation. If we take out a second grader in Sweden, then now I don't work with elementary school, but when you're unfamiliar with a situation, you're not as comfortable and don't know how to behave and what to do and so on. So then it becomes a little, I think it's difficult to compare these children who were in the tent in the morning with a second grade class in Sweden that has never done this. So I think one must be a bit cautious in the comparison.
Carola, what do you feel? If you had been a teacher for a second grade class in Sweden, would you have taken them to a kota?
Yes, I thought it was super cozy.
Do you think it's a good learning environment?
Yes, I thought everything was super cozy and very inspiring, yes.
Yes, I thought so too. She started talking about Maria-Lisa.
Yes.
Yes, the teacher started talking about how she read Astrid Lindgren's.
Yes.
Exactly.
Which one was it?
Ronja.
Ronja. And then we started to fill in there and ask, are there more books? And the children added more. So we became part of the teaching. It was a bit fun.
Yes, dialogue is one of those. That's an example of outdoor education where you have dialogue with the children. And then you can also search among the children's answers to the question you ask and discuss with them to bring out that answer. And then you can just toss around, expand this. I understand that one of you had been to Astrid Lindgren's home there in Stockholm as well. Who was there? Was it something that it was you and me? And you have been there, so you can tell about it, like how it looked there and so on. Ali. One can build up more of this situation. Outdoor education is certainly much about the fact that as an educator, you must seize that opportunity. Now, they are talking about maple leaves. Good, we are talking about maple leaves. It doesn't always have to be so structured.
No, but then she also brought out a picture of Astrid Lindgren and showed this is what she looks like. And they had read a little bit of Astrid Lindgren's Ronja for today. And this indoor pedagogy then followed into the riddle and developed
both from the children, but also from our questions, which was super good.
Yes.
So that everything is connected.
Whatever you are, and now she had prepared, someone had been away traveling, or was it?
and one of the students had traveled, and then they were given the task and homework to read up to this page because they were going to talk about it now. And it was so incredibly, she has worked with this for many, many years. And she was a very, very skilled educator.
Patrick, we have been very inspired today to take with us back home. You have been inspired by Anders Stepanski in Sweden and Uten Havet. Tell us.
Yes, of course, that's a question, but then I thought I'd answer that question too. What I have learned from you today, it's certainly this, that you can utilize different places and engage volunteers in outdoor education as well. And then I have learned from you too, the whole idea of combining golf and outdoor education, we haven't had that before. And I believe that here in Pargas we will be able to start this on a larger scale. And Anders has been like the driving force in this whole outdoor education development, and it has been really nice to have a lot of contact with him. And he has always been happy and inspiring when you meet him. There has always been time to chat with him, even at big conferences. So there has always been like 5 minutes with Anders, you know. Then it has been fun, you know. He is so very, very... He is the right person to spread the outdoor educational message, I think.
Karin, what will you take home to Björkhagens Golf Club for further training and especially outdoor teaching?
Above all, I will not give up. I intend to continue with this and try to involve more schools, because you saw these children today, how they somehow they absorb the teaching in a completely different way when they are outside. Fascinating to see. But I think it's good to move around, that you learn more easily when you can and don't have to sit still.
I can say that a light bulb went off for me today, and it was precisely this, what a gap there is, that you talk about, and you too, Tina, that in preschool they are outside a lot and then not at all, and then we pick them up in 5th grade. There's a huge gap there of 4 years. That gap or void needs to be filled somehow, otherwise it becomes strange again when you go out and have forgotten all that from preschool. So my takeaway from this trip is that we need to close that gap somehow.
The educators must be trained in this as well. I think of Maria Lisa. She had it so naturally in her. When the children passed by a mushroom that someone had kicked over, and immediately said, she picks it up and sort of discusses what are the parts of the mushroom called, what is it called that is underground. That it is so natural for her. Somehow, if you are used to that pedagogy, I think then it is always there, so you can pick up on things that happen, and that, yes, who will educate all the educators so that they learn this.
Jockey, you immediately talk about list a bunch of golf courses in Åland, and it feels like you are getting started here. Can you?
Yes, I got ideas and thoughts right away. I have concentrated my activities a lot around the sea and on the island, where we have many activities for the children. But now I got broader, expanded villages and think golf courses, Kastelholm, Eckerö. There are possibilities.
What is the next step then? How do we proceed? How do we make this grow both in Turku, on Åland, and especially in the Stockholm area?
We have talked a bit about some sort of network that we should build, and knowledge exchange, and then also this inspiration exchange at Tanande. And I have talked a bit with these Kirjala teachers about it already, that there is an interest in that for sure. And I think that our towns are all so close to each other that it would be natural to have a collaboration. Plus you in Stockholm have exactly the same problem as we have in Turku. For example, where should a city center school go to have outdoor education? We have exactly the same, like CUFO, we see the same problems. We're sitting and thinking about in two different places. Instead, we could combine our smart hubs and help each other more.
I think that when everything is warm, you have to ask. And it feels like if there's someone I should ask, it's that person or those people. And jockey too, absolutely. But that you are welcome to
conference or inspiration day, evening with the Golf Association principals, teachers.
I don't know how big we can make it or how small we should make it, but absolutely we should work on this. We have the forest right next to our school, and we have a lake about 10 to 15 minutes walk away. So there are a lot of opportunities, and the 6-year-olds are already working with these things. And I think that I absolutely believe we can start something, but in a manageable size so that it is feasible.
Good. Then we should wrap things up and conclude by saying that we are funded by Swedish Outdoor Life. This allows us to travel to Turku today and have this wonderful day with Patrick and Joke, getting guidance both at the school and at the golf club, which was very exciting to meet them, and they seem to be on the move. The Golf Association is also involved and compensates the golf clubs for participating, especially Björkhagen, which carries the heavy load in this, with further training in the spring, further training in the fall, and 2 schools in the spring and 2 schools in the fall. So you have 6 gatherings a year. That's fantastic. And you are between 6 and 8 people each time. So you are truly a role model, Karin. Is there anyone who wants to say something in conclusion about this that we have missed? Something we should convey from this day to everyone listening?
There is so much material that is ready, and you can go to the Folkhälsan website. There is so much to find. Just take it and then go out into the forest.
We can say, like Anders Topatski said once when I asked him, what pedagogy do you think should be used when going out into the forest, or adventure pedagogy or outdoor pedagogy? Anders said, the main thing is to take the kids out, forget about the pedagogy.
For those who don't know who Anders is, perhaps I should say that he is somewhat the foundation of this, together with Maria Strandberg plus this. For Anders is, shall we call him the father of outdoor education in Sweden, with a connection to Linköping University and Spetsa, and doing a great job with the continuing education and ensuring it spreads. Joke, you seemed like you wanted to say something. Please wrap up now.
I was going to say, out on a trip, never grumpy, and then dare to try, going out or into nature. Everyone becomes happy, tired in the evening.
May I hang up then? Out on a trip, never grumpy in any weather.
Yes, that's good. Thank you from us. We'll be back. Bye.